It's a beautiful fall morning here in Mountain Ranch. The frost has melted away and the sun is coming out. It looks to be a great day to be working in the garden. I've planted this bed back in the spring for the first time. I had some Oaxacan green corn seeds that I wanted to grow out. I've been storing them for a while. And I ran out of room in the garden, in the fenced-in garden. So I thought, well, why don't I just take this area right here. I'll put some compost on it, and so I threw out some corn seeds. I mixed together some corn seeds and some pumpkin seeds, and I even threw some amaranth in there, some yellow amaranth, and just tossed it out there and covered it with a mulch. The mulch I used was some lavender trimmings that we have. We have lots of lavender here. I used some Artemisia trimmings, which we have a lot of that here also, and lastly some oregano trimmings. The reason I used those, it's what I had. Turned out to be a great thing because those three kinds of plants the deer don't like, and so it protected the young seedlings as they started growing up. The deer just stayed away. They didn't want anything to do with my corn. So these corn plants and this amaranth, the amaranth didn't do so great, and the pumpkins, they all survived very, very heavy deer pressure this year, and we had a nice crop of corn, which is out in the drying shed right now, further drying up, and the pumpkins are over there curing. The pumpkins are over there curing right now, so that I can have them probably in smoothies throughout the winter. So what I want to do today, I have some seed here. This is a cover crop seed. There's some hairy vetch in here, some rye, and some clover. It looks like a lot of seed, but that's because it's been soaking. I had it soaking overnight to start the sprouting process. And if you look closely, you can see that some of the grains, some of the, looks like the clover seeds are already, the cases are already trying to split. I don't know if you can see that or not. But what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take this corn, this cover crop, take it in my hand, and I'm just going to toss it around the garden, toss it around the bed that I want it to be in. And that's how I'm going to plant it. Just like I planted the corn in the spring, I'm not going to worry about this. I'm not going to worry about the standing corn that's left over. I'm going to spread the seed first, and then I'm going to chop this stuff all down and chop and drop it to act as a mulch for the new clovers and vetch and rye. So that's the task today, is just spread the seeds around. Now that the seeds are planted, I'm just going to come and cut these stalks down in pieces and drop them where they sit. This isn't the most efficient way to do this. If I wanted to do it really quickly, I'd cut each stalk down, maybe with some strong hedge trimmers or something, and bring my shredder out here. But the shredder's really heavy and awkward and uses a lot of gas, and it's real noisy. So I don't really like to use it unless I really need to. I have so much to shred that I don't have any other practical option. But that's not the case here. I can spend an hour or so cutting down all this corn debris and amaranth debris and whatnot, whatever was growing here last year. And it'll be fine. I'm not being scientific at all about where this stuff drops. It's just going to randomly land where it lands. If I need to, I will go into the barnyard there behind me. And we have some sheep living with us right now. We don't normally raise animals here since I'm a vegan. And I don't think there's really an ethical way to raise animals on the 3 acres that we have here. Anything larger than maybe chickens or turkeys anyway. But we do have some sheep here that are our neighbors. They had some travel things going on and whatnot, and so we're sort of babysitting the sheep. And so if I need to, I'll go out in the barnyard and collect some more spoiled hay and manure and whatnot to finish covering the seeds, if that's necessary. But for now, I'm just going to clip away. Clip, clip, clip away. Clip away at the corn. Clip away at the corn. Well, I had to bust out the lopping shears for the larger parts of the corn stalks, but I'm all done now. An interesting thing I noticed is amongst all the corn, there's still some little amaranth plants here that I guess the corn protected from the frost. They're not going to produce any grain for me, but I see some salad greens at work in here. And that's something to think about next year when I plan my gardens. How can I take advantage of the corn protecting the amaranth from the frost and give me You'll notice I didn't pull the corn stalks out. I left the roots in place. I just trimmed down to the left maybe that much corn stalk above the ground. I left the roots in place because I don't want to disturb the layers in the soil food web, the little bugs and worms and things that live there. I'm going to let them feast on those corn roots just in the soil, and that's going to help break up the soil, break up the hard clay that we tend to have here. Leaving those roots in place is good for the soil. In the spring, this could be as high as 5 feet tall with the vetch and the rye growing in there. That's a lot of biomass for this area. And so what I'll do is later this winter I'll decide what I'm going to plant here, and I'll just come out and I'll soak the seeds just like I did last night, and I'll toss the seeds out in this area where the cover crop already is, and then chop the cover crop down and just let it set. And that will mulch the new bed, the spring bed, really nicely and protect those seeds till they get a good running start on the season. All of that helps to develop the soil, helps to sequester carbon in the soil. That's all I have for this project. I got to get on to some other tasks for the day, and I'll see you next time. And until then, take care of yourself, take care of each other, and take care of the planet. Bye.